All right, welcome back. Episode 78 of the There Will Be Bond podcast. I'm Pete Brooker. Over there is Rob Smith.
Hello.
Crikey, we're hot on the mics. I'm going to have to fix that in post already. Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
Okay, no, it's my fault. It's my fault. Right, recording this on March the 25th. On the agenda today, we are covering minutes 93 and 94 of Casino Royale. We have a bit of... Oh, do you know what I wrote down?
What?
I wrote down we have a bit of clickbait Bond news to get into regarding the producers.
Yes, well, it's not clickbait, is it now?
Because
it's official.
Because literally just an hour before we turn the mics on, they've announced.
Not even that.
Not even that.
Not
no.
even that.
So,
I was walking to my car. It was 5 o'clock. I come out of the office and it came up on my phone. I was like, "Ooh, that's handy for the pod."
That is. Well, so
it'll be old news by the time this is released. It'll be 2 days old by then.
Well, you know, it'll be old in the world of Bond, but that's life.
At least we got it in there.
Just
Hooray. Better than us being the last report on the Amazon deal, wasn't it?
Well, we normally are. So we will, I should say, cover some more Bond on the There Will Be More Bond Patreon show after this. So if you like what you're hearing now about how Rob gets his news and his updates, then hang around, subscribe. There'll be links in the show notes. We'll carry on after this. But now, Rob, let's talk weather.
Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, though, where on earth did March go? It's the 25th today. It'll be the 27th when this comes out on Thursday. I mean, and then the clocks go forward. Not this weekend, next weekend. I can't believe it. Where did March go? It's ridiculous. But do you know what? It's so lovely at the moment because I get up at 5:30 in the morning for work, just going to the office, and it's light. It's actually light. I open the curtains and I can see my garden. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Although we have had quite a bit of frost, haven't we? Like since we last recorded.
No shit.
But that's sort of gone now, I think.
No, it hasn't. It's cold as balls out there.
It is still cold in the morning, but it's not frost anymore.
Yeah.
But do you know what? It looks so pretty when it is frosty. You know, and I had to take a little moment the other day. I had to take a moment of reflection because work's been very stressful of late. And it was nice just to look out the window and just take in the beauty of the frost in the garden.
I'd like to say your optimism is infectious, Rob, but over the weekend I went down to Chiswick Park, where you work.
Oh,
actually.
yeah, you sent me a video, didn't you?
I got caught in a hailstorm.
You sent me a weather video, a weather update.
And I said, I blame you for this. And each time we get caught in bad weather, it'll be my fate to get struck by lightning. And in my dying breath, I'll be like, the fucking weather killed me, Rob, and it's your fault.
It's all my fault. Yeah, well, I didn't.
I was blaming you.
Thing is, right, Pete, that hailstorm, and you weren't the only one, because I've got another mate who lives in Chiswick, and he sent me a video as well, saying, Rob, it's apocalyptic rain in Chiswick, and he filmed
really
it through his window. You were on Chiswick Park, Business Park, and I thought, shit, this better not be coming my way, because I'm out shopping in Cobham with Bluebell. And Bluebell, my car, my classic, never goes out in the rain. I just brought back from her MOT. She passed. She flew through flying colours.
All right, okay.
And it's like, what am I going to do? But it didn't come. I didn't get the hail. You got the hail. So, yes.
Do you want to do...
But do you know what?
Go for it.
Before we finish on what you do your weather quiz, before we do that, do you want to know what time the sun sets today?
Sure.
I can't find it. I know. I can't find it.
That's why I say you can't read your own handwriting, you moron.
Oh no, I found it. Okay, it's 23 minutes past 6.
Very good.
Sorry, it disappeared.
Very good.
Disappeared.
Okay. I look forward to going through and editing all that out.
Oh, no, you've got to keep some of it in.
Are you ready for your weather quiz?
Yes.
I don't know why I thought of this film, but it sprung to mind immediately, and I reckon you're not going to know it.
Probably.
I probably don't think you've even seen it.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Something tells me, if I'm a gambling man. Okay, 20 seconds of this. You ready?
Joanne, please get in the car. Look. Joanne, I apologize. I was angry. I'm sorry about what I said. I'm gonna put ketchup on the stand.
Oh, it sounds like a 90s film or early 2000s.
I think it's 90s. Yeah, pretty sure it's 90s.
Lots
of weather going on.
Is that
in
Jim
the rain.
Carrey?
No.
I don't know then. I don't know, because I was thinking it might be that film where Jim Carrey, it's all like a film and he's in it. Whatever that film's called.
It's like
you know
the
one
film and he's in it.
Do you know what I mean? You know the film I mean?
There's fucking loads of Jim Carrey films.
No,
What are
but
you
it's
talking about?
it's
He's
like
in it.
everyone's
Oh, the
watching
Truman
him.
Show. You're
Yes,
talking about
I thought
Truman
it was the Truman Show.
No, it's not the Truman
Okay,
Show.
I don't know then.
Few Good Men. Tom Cruise.
Oh, I have seen that, but years ago.
Great film.
Years and years. I don't really remember much about it.
I fear the day that Jack Nicholson passes away, right? Because he's my favourite actor.
Is he?
Of all time. Of all time. Grew up on Jack Nicholson films.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, possibly my favourite film.
amazing.
And right up there with my favourite book as well by Ken Kesey. Love One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. But that film, you know how Gene Hackman passed a couple of weeks ago, and all you see is Gene Hackman, clips of him against Denzel Washington in Crimson Tide, I think it is, battling it out on the submarine, or French Connection.
Conversation.
Or the conversation. But when Jack Nicholson passes,
There's going to be so much stuff.
it's going to. But there will be a Few Good Men just played over and over. The courtroom scene.
It'll
with
be,
him and Tom Cruise.
days and days of it.
Just
But it's like, do you remember when Richard Barry? David Barry. Do you remember when David Barry died? And the news was just flooded with it for days. David Barry.
David Bowie. I thought you said
Yes.
David Barry.
David Barry. When he died, do you remember? It was just like...
yeah, I do, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all there was in the news for days. And I remember my mum saying, I've never even heard of this person. Who is he? And it's like all over the news, like Daily Telegraph, pages and pages and pages and pages. Who is he? Robert, I've never heard of him.
Your mum never knew who David
No.
Bowie was. Jesus Christ.
She stopped listening to pop music after 1966.
What happened?
Beatles and Rolling Stones ruined it.
Okay, all right, that's another episode. I think we'll talk about that in the Patreon. Well, we're already 8 minutes in, Rob.
Oh, God, we better crack on.
We better move on.
Yeah.
Shall we do anything Bondian? Have you been up to anything Bondian this week?
Well, I visited a friend's manor house. Does that count as Bondian?
Did Roger Moore take a shit in it once? Is there a
No,
plaque
but
outside?
Bond knew people with manor houses who lived in manor houses. What about M? Quarterdeck? He visited M in the manor house, and all the Bond villains who lived in manor houses. Not many people have friends who live in manor houses. I think that counts.
All right. What happened in the manor house, Rob, of note?
We started a convoy of Volkswagen Beetles down to the Volkswagen show, and it was amazing.
It was amazing.
It was.
It was amazing.
Very cool. It's a beautiful house with a 2.5 acre garden. It's stunning. So yeah, I'm very jealous of that garden.
I don't know if you've quite grabbed the anything Bondian segment yet, Rob. You going to a manor house because it might have been a
visits
Bond.
manor houses.
Yeah, but you were in there for a rendezvous and then you left 2 minutes later.
Well, I had a cup of tea when I arrived.
I tell you what, if you haven't got anything Bondian, then just when I send the agenda, just say I haven't got anything.
But I think that is Bondian. Why don't we put it out to the listeners and see if they agree with me?
Okay, all right. Put it out. You can comment. There's a Spotify poll. Actually, we'll put a poll.
I
out.
think you should
All right, okay.
see what they say. I'd be interested to know. A team Rob or team Pete.
Well, all right, Rob. Well, I hate to piss on your sandwiches, but I actually went to a James Bond themed party this weekend.
Really?
Yes. So I was invited by Anastasia's friends, who are consequently my friends now.
Are they Russian?
No. One is French Canadian, I think, and the other Egyptian. I want to say there's dustings of all sorts of international wonderments in there.
Well, that's Bondian in itself.
Right. Anastasia's out of town. She's flown to the Congo for work. And I said, I said, I can't go.
Did she not? She wasn't with you then? You went on your own?
Flew solo.
Oh my God.
Flew solo, yeah.
Where was my invitation?
It just was not there. It was just not thought about.
Cheers.
Because I'm not lying down next to you in courtship, Rob.
I could have been your +1. I could have held your hand if you didn't know anyone, you know.
No, Rob, please, be serious. Be serious for a moment. So I went along to the party on my own, right? Okay. Now, it being a James Bond party, I was very keen to dress up, you know. So
Of course.
Put my James Bond socks on. I put my I put my Frank Foster shirt on, the one that Lazenby wore,
Oh.
modelled on the George
Is that the
Lazenby
frilly one?
Yes, it's
Oh,
got
yes,
the
I've
box
seen
pleats and
it.
the frills. Yeah,
I've
so
seen it, yeah.
made by the same shirt maker that made the one for George Lazenby.
Yes.
Still around, Frank Foster. People that have listened to this podcast for a long time will be bored of me
I bet
talking
the people
about
at the
it.
party didn't know that.
Hadn't got a clue.
No.
In fact, and then I wore my sheath velvet jacket.
Ooh.
Now, I was sitting next to this guy at the dinner table, and he goes, wow, nice shirt, mate. I go, yeah, it's a really cool shirt, right? Anyway, thanks. And I said, look, this was made by the same shirt maker, bespoke shirt, Frank Foster and George Lazenby made all the shirts for Roger Moore and Christopher Walken and, many of the cast.
Did you spiel?
Oh, anyway, yeah, so I went on for
Yeah.
I don't
bored
know.
him shitless, and he was like, "Who sat me next to this arsehole?"
Exactly. I felt like after a while, you see them glaze over.
Yes, and you're like, "Oh my god!"
And I've wrung this bar towel out of all of the James Bond goodness. But anyway, he set me off. I had a couple of pops in me, so I thought, right, I went for it. Anyway, I turned the conversation to him. So I said, look, so who's your favourite Bond? And he goes, oh, God, it was that one that was in the one that was in the TV series. I was like, all right, okay.
What, James Bond Jr.? The animated one.
Oh, God, all right. I say, all right, well, it's Pierce Brosnan, Remington Steele. He goes, that's the one.
Oh,
okay,
right, okay.
All right. Okay, fine. I go, right, so what's your favourite Pierce Brosnan film? He goes, oh, God, it was the one. He was in a car chase. I was like, look, okay.
In a car chase.
This is not going very well.
It's probably Tomorrow Never Dies. I think that's... Well, it might have been Die Another Day.
But I soon figured it out, Rob, what it was. This invitation for a James Bond themed party is to make sure people don't turn up in their fucking Superdry hoodies or their Under Armour.
Oh,
like
I
coming
see.
from the golf
Just
course.
to come looking smart.
Yeah, just smarten up the party.
Oh,
like,
God.
none of these people knew a jot about Bond, right? Nothing. But it's weird because you go to some parties and all you know is James Bond. Like, I got introduced by the host to another guest going, this is Pete. He's a James Bond expert, and I'm like, oh no, don't say that, because you could you could watch a lot of Bond films like I do, but then you could be next to AJ Chowdhury. Now that's an expert, or like Zawitsky or Joe Darling. These.
I think it depends what kind of people you're mixing with in society.
Okay. So amongst these people, amongst these fucking dingbats, I was mastermind. Right?
Of course you were.
Right? Okay. So anyway,
where was this party out of interest?
Just outside of Camden. I
Okay.
had to get the Uber there.
Right.
All right, okay, but I want to tell you this bit. This was funny. And so I go, all right, so you must have seen GoldenEye at the cinema. We figured out it was GoldenEye. The one he was talking about, the car chase and the Famke Janssen, the Ferrari and the Aston Martin.
Oh, that car
yeah.
chase.
So
Okay.
he's talking about
Yeah.
GoldenEye. I figured it out.
Okay.
All right, so GoldenEye. I go, all right, so you must have, he goes, you saw it at the cinema. I go, yeah, cinema. I go, right, 95.
Yeah.
95, yeah. He goes, nah, it wasn't 95.
Oh, so
Okay.
it's not GoldenEye then.
I go, well, it's, okay, so what was it? He goes, way earlier than that. I go, but it was Pierce Brosnan. He goes, yeah, Pierce Brosnan. I go, well, it has to be GoldenEye.
Yeah. That's
He goes,
his
no,
first
it
film.
must have been earlier than 95. I go,
No.
look, trust me. I go, look,
Yeah.
I don't want to pull rank here.
Yeah, no,
but
it's not.
It's 95.
No.
He gets out his phone and
And he
starts
looks it up.
fucking Googling because he didn't believe it. I'm like, at what point do you
no.
think I'm even... Where is the doubt?
no.
I've just spent 20 minutes
And then
telling
what-
you I'm wearing the screen-accurate shirt from fucking On Emergency Secret Service. I know the shirt maker. I know all of it. I've written books on it.
And when he saw that you were right, did he apologise?
I was off by then.
Sorry.
I was off by then.
Oh, you got...
I went back to the buffet. I'm not hanging around for this guy to fucking Google the year that GoldenEye came out. He goes, I ain't got any reception. I'm just going to have to go through that. I was like, maybe I'll get the Wi-Fi code and I'll get on. I was like, mate, all right, I'm done. I'm going for
So
dessert.
good party, was it?
Good party. Lovely people. He was a nice guy, actually. I'm being a bit of a dick. He was a good guy.
Yeah.
Got into this other conversation with this other girl. And because it was a birthday for the host, I said, how do you spend your birthday? Do you do anything as good as this? She goes, I go away on my own to a convent where no one can talk to me or touch me.
Oh my
I was
God!
like, wow, that sounds pretty special. Like, why do you do that? She goes, well, my language, my love language is giving, and no one can give as good as me. Whoa.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I said, look, I was thinking maybe this is a wind up. She goes, no, I genuinely, no one can give.
But if you're in a convent, you can't
She can't talk to
do
anyone.
anything.
Yeah. No. But she doesn't. She knows that she told me the people in her life can't give as good as she gives to other people, so she doesn't even let them try. She's had so many bad birthdays that she just prefers to go and do her own thing on the side.
Right.
And she goes, right, do you know anything about the language of love? And at this point, I'm wondering, is she coming on to me? I mean, like, we're talking love, language of love.
Sounds quite flirtatious.
Talking about giving.
Yeah.
Anyway, she wasn't.
And you on your own.
And I was on my own.
Did you have your wedding ring on your hat finger? No.
I don't have it now, but
you did that. Okay.
Okay, look, it turns out she was just a nice girl that wasn't coming on to me like every girl that I know, which is good. She then proceeds to tell me the 5 languages of love, right? Do you know any of the languages of love?
No.
Like how to
I
display
didn't know
love?
there were such things.
So there is. So there's physical touch, like you can touch someone.
Yeah.
That's showing
Yeah.
love. There's words of affirmation,
Okay.
like
yeah.
God, you're hot, things like
Yeah.
that.
I love you.
Or I love you. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's gift giving.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. There's acts. Oh, so that's acts of giving. There's acts of service. Acts of
Okay.
service. I think that's just like making breakfast or some shit.
Or looking after them.
Yeah, or looking after them.
Mm.
And there's quality time. Those are the 5.
Okay.
Right? And she goes, "Have you? Do you display any of these?"
Oh, I should hope so.
And I say, "I think about it for a minute. I think about it." And I told her that I make Anastasia breakfast every morning. She goes, "All right, that's one.
Oh,
that's the
that's
act.
nice of
That's the
you.
act of giving. That's one.
very sweet of you, Pete.
That's the act." She goes, "That's one. Any more?" I go, "Do you know what? Anastasia, I'm not going to throw her under the bus. Pretty
No.
much every girl that I've ever dated in my life has had terrible taste in film. And when you go to the cinema, if you're with a woman, there's no way you can go in and watch a 35mm print of Heat or Tango and Cash, is there? No. It's got to be fucking 50 Shades Greater or Grayer or whatever it is, or Clueless.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh. Did she like Star Wars, Anastasia?
No.
No. See, not many girls do. I've only known 3 girls in my life who are into Star Wars. Of all the women I've met, as far as I'm aware, there might be more, but like 3 who are actual Star Wars fans.
You let them slip
and
through
go
your
and
fingers.
see the movies and follow it and get excited about the movies. That's it's quite rare. It's quite rare. Anyway,
So yeah, that was
that was your Bondian.
well, I just
moment.
thought, do you know what? That was my Bondy moment, but
That's good.
I've shown many languages of love, Rob. The amount of time I've sacrificed watching Men in Black 3, the worst fucking franchise ever that Anastasia loves and watches on repeat, and I have to sit through it.
Well, sounds like you had a good party.
And the last girl that I spoke to couldn't believe that I'd get up at 5 a.m. to do a James Bond newsletter. She didn't believe me. She goes, "You're either lying or you're crazy. I can't tell."
Oh.
Okay, I'm crazy.
About getting up at 5 a.m. or about writing the Bond newsletter?
Well, probably both.
Right.
I was like, we all need a why to get up in the morning, don't we, Rob?
Yeah.
Shall we get into the minutes?
I think we should.
We are on to minute 93, and I should say this is brought to you by Prop Store. Prop Store have got an auction by the time this podcast goes out. You want to be checking all of the James Bond lots on propstore.com at this auction. I just posted something the other day about the Man with the Golden Gun.
I saw.
Yeah, from Factory Entertainment, one of the, I think it was the first release.
Is it the actual full-size replica that comes apart? Because I know that there was like a scaled-down version that's like ready built.
Well, Tom Sears messaged me. He goes, "I've got one of those."
Oh, well, then it is the same one. Because I've seen him.
Or he's got the second edition.
He did a video of it, of putting it together and
Not
stuff.
sure exactly which one he's got, but he was very excited.
Yeah, it's the proper one.
Right.
His one.
And
And I've said to him, I want that. And he's like, oh, well, there aren't any left, sorry.
I said, put it on eBay, and then say it comes with a signed framed photo of yourself, Tom, and you'll get 20 quid, no problem, on eBay. Anyway, where did we leave it, Rob? Well, I think
We left it with Bond grabbing a knife.
Oh yeah, what was he up to?
He was getting all in it. He was getting cross, wasn't he?
He was. Okay, so he's giving chase to the sheep.
He was like, because he'd lost, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's cleaned out, and he's like, what the fuck do I do?
Right. Okay, so we'll pick it up. This is minute 93, and we'll see you on the other side.
Funny game, right? Sorry, I should have introduced myself, seeing as we're related. Felix Leiter. My brother from Langley.
Yeah.
You should have a little faith. You
Nice. Oh, Rob! We leave it there. Oh, bloody hell, sorry. Bond has just walked back into the casino because he's full of money now, isn't he? He's just been staked by Felix. So what's your takeaways, Rob, from that one?
Well, it's quite an important minute, this, isn't it?
Yes.
Felix Leiter is finally revealed. Finally. Because up until this point, he's just been a player, hasn't he? We didn't know who he was. He's just been sat at the table.
Yeah.
And then he stops him and he's like, brother from Langley.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, here we go. This is good.
You're going to have to let Roger out. He's probably just seen a fox. Go on, Roger. Go get him. Sorry. Roger's just... There he goes. Off he goes. Yeah, so brother from Langley.
And that's obviously very important because we have not had a familiar character in this film apart from M. Because there's no Moneypenny, there's no Q, and now we've got Felix. It's like, oh, yes, that's nice. Something familiar,
nice.
Something comforting that we're used to. So, yeah, and he's great, isn't he, this Felix? Jeffrey Wright is one of the best for me. He's right up there.
I think he's my favourite.
Is he your favourite?
Yeah,
really?
Pretty sure.
Why is he your favourite?
I think he's a better actor. I think he has attitude in spades. He's kind of constantly pissed off, isn't he?
Oh, and Jack Lord wasn't.
No, I think Jack Lord had a bit of a pep in his step.
He was very cool, Jack Lord.
Jack Lord was cool looking, but I don't know if he really did cool stuff. I think Felix does more cool stuff.
Okay.
In my opinion. And look, and going on to later films as well. And, you know, he basically helps him out in Quantum Solace. He bails him out there. And he goes, I just think he has a really good shorthand, but also in the scenes when Felix is not with Bond, like shooting across to Quantum.
Yeah.
When he's in the plane and he looks at the photo,
it's with that
and he goes like,
guy.
who is going? Do you know who that guy is going out with? His CIA buddy.
Oh yeah, the actor.
Yeah,
he's famous, isn't he? I can't remember his name.
He's going out with Lily Allen.
Really?
Yeah, True Blue.
Really? Yeah, he was at the London Film and Comic Con a couple of years ago because he
big
was
moustache guy.
Yeah, because he was doing a play in London at the time. And I had a look at what he was charging, and it was insane.
Really?
Yeah,
How
utterly insane. It was like 200 quid or something per autograph.
Oof.
I'm like, fuck that.
What else has he been in then?
Oh, something big since Quantum. He's done.
There he is.
Yeah, he's done something.
Lily Allen. Oh, is it?
Yeah, he's
ex. Oh no! Oh, Lily Allen's ex-husband David Harbour had secret 3-year. Oh, this isn't going to go well. Is it?
Oh. So they were married.
They were married.
And now they're
had
not.
Secret 3-year affair with costume designer.
Oh.
Oh no.
Okay. Well, we're going into
Costume
live
designer.
Googling on the news sites here. But
Which
I
costume
can't
designer?
remember what else he's done, but he's done something really big. He's very well known. But we're getting off the thing here. We're talking about Felix. Yeah, I think my favourite Felix is Rick Van Nutter.
Oh yeah.
From Thunderball. Yeah, I think he and Sean have such a good rapport. I could see them being buddies. I really could. And I think out of all... Also, David Hedison and
David Hedison's
Roger Moore. Because they were mates in real life.
And Timothy.
Yeah.
David Hedison and Timothy.
Yeah, I think Jack Lord, Rick Van Nutter, David Hedison, Jeffrey Wright.
Are they? Oh, really? That's your ranking? Well, Jeffrey's all the way down there.
No, well, no, I wasn't ranking them. I was
you're just reeling off Felix's.
Okay. Yeah, if I had
you're just reeling Felix.
Just reeling them off. No, but there's about 2 or 3 I've missed off that aren't worth talking about. If I had to rank them, I would say number 1 Rick Van Nutter, number 2 Jack Lord, number 3 Jeffrey Wright, 4 David Hedison.
I don't
and
know.
The rest are just not worth discussing.
I don't know why more actors don't have more affairs with costume designers. Right? You've got to think about it. It's very... Right, so you're in there on your own a lot of the time, having a fitting.
Personal.
Right?
Yeah.
And obviously they're going to have to reach around and do a couple of pins and, just do a spin,
this has
do a
got
12
your brain thinking, hasn't it, Pete? This bit of Googling you've just done. You're like, ooh.
And I think a lot of the modern day costume designers, they're straight out of fashion school, maybe.
Not necessarily. If they're experienced, they're probably in their 50s.
Oh, look. All right, so look. Lindy Hemming is not going to have an affair with David Harbour. I'm ruling that out.
Oh, poor Lindy Hemming.
3 years.
Yeah. But yeah. So anyway, so we get to finally see Felix, which is great, isn't it? He's basically trying to stop Bond from
he's
turning
saving the day.
situation into something that is
Into a
unrecoverable.
bloodbath. Yeah, bloodbath.
Isn't he?
Because it's interesting in the Blu-ray commentary, Purvis and Way say, like, he is still in with a chance of cleaning out Le Chiffre. You know, now he's seen something in Bond, perhaps his hot-headedness, the willingness to take a gamble in a bet. You know, Felix is quite a safe character, and that kind of reflects his poker game as well, because he's not taking these real big gambles, especially ones that are not paying off anyway. Right. So he can see something in Bond that goes, look, you're a better player than me. I think you've got something. Yeah. If you go and kill him now, you've got nothing. Yeah. And by the way, the mission has failed because we need to get to his superiors and we need to get him in and get information out of him. What is interesting, though, is Felix says, we will bring him in, right, the CIA, which sounds like to me Felix has got some backup that we don't get to see. Right? So imagine...
Well, he probably just has to make a phone call and then there'll be people there within 10 minutes or something.
Okay, Rob.
I don't know.
All right, yeah, but like within 10 minutes, the sheep's already out the door.
I don't think he's got people in the room.
Okay, all right. No, but look, just say this. What is Jeffrey Wright? He's about 5'5" on a good day, I reckon.
I don't know.
Well, all right. Look, he doesn't look like a tall guy. He has to go on a couple of steps up on that stairwell just to be even with Daniel Craig.
I've never noticed that.
Yeah. So I think.
Oh, I like him a bit more now. He's a bit like me.
Yeah, he's a bit like us. But I'm just saying. Where is his back? He's not going to bring him in on his own.
No, he's got... Yeah.
Yeah, we will bring him in. And it turns out he didn't bring him in either.
No.
So maybe those 10 minutes were 2 hours and it didn't work out.
Maybe. But yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because in the commentary, they do say, don't they, Purvis and Wade, that in the book it's slightly different because they don't have that scene. Yep. That interaction.
Yeah, it's very convenient that Bond just gets an envelope and he's now being staked.
It's
not cinematic at all.
That's right. They said it's very fortuitous that he's just suddenly bailed out by the CIA. Yeah. Whereas here, as you say...
Well, Felix isn't even in the game in the book.
No, and Felix has clocked Bond's character. Yeah. And he's cashing in on his character, knowing that he can hold his own and he can take risks... and all that sort of stuff, but at the same time he can keep himself under control. So he knows the game of poker.
Last thing on Felix, well, at least from me, I had this thought earlier. Jeffrey Wright is kind of intolerable on Instagram, right?
Oh, you follow him on Instagram?
Yeah, I follow him.
Oh wow, I didn't even know he was on Instagram.
But how we talked earlier off mic about how people are now using Instagram as some kind of news feed channel. Yeah. Where it used to be just posting photos. It could be, and it was. Yeah. What did you say originally? It was for? It's for artists.
I said it's for images.
Yeah,
photographers.
Images.
Yeah.
Yeah, and kind of like chronicling your daily life and telling stories.
It's all just images, and I only use it for images.
Yeah.
I don't use it to tell people about. Yeah, I don't say, oh, I've done this today on Instagram.
Now, I'm not here to tell. Advise anyone what to do on Instagram. That's your own thing. But Jeffrey Wright literally just posts political statements, democratic views, which is absolutely fine. But it got me thinking, right? You have...
He wouldn't get on with Robert Darby. Then.
No, you knew exactly where I was going. Right, so I thought, wouldn't it be cool if you had... You know how you have like these celebrity deathmatch punch games back in the day? You'd have like boxing matches where you'd get celebrities, B-list celebrities, to kind of go up against each other. Not a boxing match, but a verbal sparring game, a live Instagram feed between Felix and Jeffrey Wright and Robert Darby going for it on a political platform.
That would be hilarious.
And you'd have Sanchez versus Felix, basically.
I'd pay a lot of money to see that. Yeah. That would be great. Maybe you should suggest it. Yep. Are you friends with Robert Darby on Instagram too? Or Facebook?
Well, I follow him. I don't think
I think we should make this happen, Pete.
Yep.
Have a political standoff. Do like a question time.
All right. Okay. Well, that was minute 93. Shout, crikey, Rob! It's getting on.
Yes.
Shall we just do one news story?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Let's get to the news, shall we?
Gentlemen and ladies, hold the presses. This just in.
Rob, I'm recording. It's all right. Play it.
No.
What are you watching?
Oh, it's come up on my feed. No. Oh, Views from Mark is doing a live as well. They're all doing lives.
See?
They're all doing...
By the time this goes out, this will be yesterday's newspaper.
Look, he's doing it.
Oh, there's views from Mark. Put it into the mic. Put him into the mic.
Bill Nye as M, I think, would be amazing. It would be great. I met Bill Nye a couple of times in London because when I'm down there, I sometimes bump into him when I'm going about getting a coffee and what have you. Lovely, lovely man. I think I've posted a selfie.
I've seen Bill Nye out in
Lovely
Soho as well.
I think he
Don't try and one up Mark.
No, I have though.
On his
my
Bill
God,
Nye.
great. You should
It was
see
in a
him.
film that David Heyman produced called Page 8. It was a TV movie. It was a spy.
All right. Okay.
Yeah,
we get the idea.
let's,
All right.
yes, people can listen to that in their own time.
Yeah. Well, we're going to meet up with Mark on Friday, aren't we?
Well, if he comes.
He'll come. He said he's coming.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
We're doing the GoldenEye screening at mine, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, so we'll get to the news in a sec, but the GoldenEye screening, Rob. The food that we're going to put on.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So the film GoldenEye, the only food in the film is
Q's baguette.
Q's baguette, which Raymond Benson expanded upon in his
Yes.
book, I believe.
Tuna.
Tuna and tomatoes and onion.
Right.
So we've got to put some of those together.
Okay.
Although Philip Ledger doesn't eat tuna or any other fish.
Well, he can have a toasted sandwich because Orlov eats a toasted sandwich.
yeah, exactly.
We'll give him
There's borscht, because I think borscht gets mentioned by Xena.
Well, Julie T. Wallace says that in Living Daylights, doesn't she?
Correctamundo. Bing! I need a Ned Ryerson Bing.
You
on-
have to record
Bing.
that, stick it in post.
Bing!
Bing!
Anyway, so news.
All right,
so
Rob, do you wanna
big
do the news?
news. It's
You do
just
the news.
broken.
Go for it.
Okay, so what is the news? The news is the producers of the new Bond film have literally just been announced officially because it's been rumoured, hasn't it, last few days about this.
We should just get views from Mark to do. We should just play his feed. Just go, that was the news. Thanks, Mark. Timing. He doesn't
Yeah.
listen to this.
No, of course he does.
No,
Everyone
he
listens to
doesn't.
this.
No one
yeah.
does.
Yeah, so the big news is hot off the press. Amazon MGM Studios have announced that Amy Pascal and David Heyman will produce the upcoming James Bond film. Quote, James Bond is one of the most iconic characters in the history of cinema, said Amy Pascal and David Heyman. We are humbled to follow in the footsteps of Barbara Broccoli and Michael Wilson, who made so many extraordinary films, and honoured and excited to keep the spirit of Bond very much alive as he embarks on his next adventure. So, what are your thoughts on this announcement, Pete?
Okay, well, first off, I'm glad that this is official because before you came round, we had it on the rumour mill, and I was mindful. I wasn't even going to do it as it was a rumour because there has been so many clickbait articles.
Yeah,
I just don't believe in
yeah.
giving it the oxygen of publicity. But I'm glad that this has come through as something official.
Yeah.
Now, it led me on to a mini thought experiment earlier, Rob. And follow me on this. When I was on the hype of Spectre, when I first got into the James Bond community, I didn't actually look at any of the Bond news that was coming out. I didn't watch the trailers.
Oh, really?
didn't
You
see
wanted
the-
to stay in
Yep.
the dark? Yeah.
A bit like Chris Wright, I think,
Yeah, exactly
from,
like
from
Chris
JBI.
Wright,
So
yes.
I had a very, very impactful experience watching that film because I'd not seen any of the build-up of the hype or the trailers. Now, come to No Time to Die, I'd seen that film before I even went to the fucking cinema, it felt like, because they kicked it back. You know, we were doing content, we were breaking it down, we're disseminating the news, we're picking out the costumes and the clothes, and we're kind of piecing where all the clothes, you know, putting the film together out of the trailer and seeing what's... And I was like, God, this is kind of just really... It's done it for me. I know how the film is going to play out, scene by scene. I know where the ending's going to be. I know where the start's going to be. Are you telling me that you didn't know the Matera scenes were going to be at the beginning?
No, I didn't. I didn't follow it as closely as you, though.
All right. Possibly not, because you weren't a content creator by then. You weren't doing podcasts.
No.
You weren't, you know, forensically
No, I wasn't. No.
dissecting
And
it.
I didn't want to read too much about it because I didn't want to spoil it for myself.
Okay, but then COVID kicked in just at the time that No Time to Die was going to come out. And so they kicked it back and we had to watch that car do a donut again and again. I felt like I'd seen that car do a donut in Matera, I don't know, 100 odd times before I fucking got to see it in the cinema. And it was just completely diluted. A lot of it was. By the time I got to see No Time to Die. And I think that has possibly affected my overall impression of that film is because I had a very washed out.
I think it's better to go dark, isn't it? A lot of the time.
I mean, look what we're doing now. We're breaking down the news. We know who the producers are. You know.
Having said that, though, Pete, I didn't go completely dark on No Time to Die, and I had no idea how that film was going to end.
Okay, not ending. True, I didn't know he was going to die. I mean, there was talk about it, and there was
and some people did, like, you know, the Final Ascent track on the soundtrack, etc. Oh, he's going to die.
Sure.
You know, and that I was just not for six by that completely, and it was like I had seen all the trailers, I read all the official news, I thought I knew everything there was to know about that film, and then I saw a film that was completely different. I was like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, but Rob, would you not agree that there was nothing new in the film that was any better than you hadn't seen in the trailer? The only thing that you didn't know was that Bond died. And how
daughter.
Great was that?
And the daughter.
There was so much about the daughter.
Well, there was a bit, and I hoped it wasn't true when I accidentally read that.
All right, so the things that got revealed in the film were ultimately the disappointments.
Yeah.
Bond as a kid and Bond dies.
Yeah.
Great. The only fucking things we hadn't seen in the trailers are now confirmed, and that's the film.
Yeah.
Okay, so great. Anyway, getting back to what we're talking about with the producers, I'm now wondering, this is going to start. This is it.
You're going to think, where are they going to take this film? What have these people done in the past?
I'm thinking, if a poster comes out tomorrow, I'll obviously see a poster. I can't ignore a poster. No. But I can ignore a song. I didn't hear the Sam Smith song before that came out. That will be cool to see, along with the title sequence, and hear for the first time in a cinema. Seeing most of the action, most of the key moments, because like they'll put all of the action in the trailers, all of the big stunt moments.
Yeah, of course they will. Yeah.
And you'll see it. And then you'll have a very desensitized experience watching it later on. There is something that happens first time around when you see that film on the big screen and you've not seen anything leading up to it. So anyway, I'm just putting it out there. I probably will go dark.
I think I might too.
Yeah.
And then we'll have nothing to talk about.
We'll just get really 007 on the phone and talk.
Every trailer that comes out, everything about it, people expect to say, what do you guys think about the news? And we're like, well, we're both going dark, so we're not. No comment.
No one comes to us for the news, Rob. They go
to the Bond Buzz.
Go to the Bond Buzz.
Yeah.
Well, go everywhere else. Go to whoever you like to listen to or watch, or you dig their opinions. I mean, there's plenty.
David Zaritsky will be talking about it.
Calvin Dyson.
Yes. So my view on this, personally, is...
Sorry, go on.
It's fine. My view is David Heyman, you could do a lot worse than him, because he obviously was the producer behind Harry Potter films and Paddington 2, which is a lot of people think is the best sequel in history.
Not me.
And really? Really? A lot of people think Paddington 2 is much, much better than Paddington.
It doesn't make it the best sequel in history.
Well, some people say that. Anyway, but the point is, he's got good form. Okay, he comes from good stock, as it were. And she's got a bit of Bond history because, she's a producer. She's did the Spider-Man films and stuff. But she's also used to be the head of Sony at the time when Sony was distributing the Bond films under the guise of Columbia, from Casino Royale through to Spectre. So she's got all of that behind her, all of that. So in a way, I think the fact that they've got her in the mix is almost, people might say, it's sticking two fingers up at Barbara. Do you know what I mean? Because she was involved in those films.
Barbara,
I don't know.
Barbara doesn't give a shit, and I'll tell you why. Because she got $1 billion to wave this franchise goodbye, and she's living every inch of that $1 billion lifestyle.
Yeah, I think she still cares.
I did like the.
They still
someone
jointly
tweeted
own
it.
it.
I wish I kept the tweet, but I think it was the spy. Bill Koenig from the Spy Command retweeted a Guardian article, and the headline was how brave it was for Barbara and Michael to let go of the franchise they loved so much. Like, I don't know how brave someone is when you give them $1 billion to walk away from something like that. Is not the definition of bravery.
But did they? I mean, they didn't need the bloody money, did they? I don't think it's going to make vast differences to their lifestyle.
Does it look like I need the money?
And
it looked like we need the money.
You know, it was their father's business.
Shall we get on to minute 94, Rob?
Okay.
All right. Okay, you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Right.
I'm done.
Let's get on to minute 94. We left it, didn't we, with Bond being bailed out by Felix. He's just about to walk back into the casino. Let's pick it up now, and hopefully this will work.
Shall we up the blind?
Love it.
Why not? Back. Raise.
Doesn't like that, does he? Scratching his head again. Shuffling his chips. Picks up his card, launches him. Oh, Rob, I love this shot. She's just putting the poison in the martini.
Oh yeah.
Some of these shots are the best.
Oh yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah. They're just bringing the Vespers over now. Bond takes a sip. Oh, what's it, Rob? Wow, what a minute. What a minute. Beautifully truncated there. So Bond, we leave it. Bond has just taken a sip. But there's something very fishy going on with his drink, isn't there, Rob?
There is. There is. It's all about the drink, isn't it, this minute? So I just want to get one thing straight, okay? This drink. Does he order it and then Valenka just puts that stuff in before the waitress takes it over? Has he actually ordered that drink? Or has Valenka decided to buy him a drink, put the stuff in and send it over to him and say, here you go, I just bought you this? It's not actually clear. I'm assuming he has ordered it and she's just seen him order it and then decided to put that in. But then how does she know he was going to order a drink? I suppose he always orders a drink, doesn't he?
So you think Valenka's just ordered him a drink?
Well, I don't know. It's not clear, is it? And the other thing is on the commentary, Martin Campbell and Michael G. Wilson talk about how they were debating at the time whether to leave the shot of the drinks in to show that she's put this stuff in,
yes.
or not, and whether to just have the drink come over and then just from Mads Mikkelsen's face, from the expression on his face, you can tell something's been put in his drink.
Okay, so did they need to telegraph that he's been poisoned?
Yeah.
I think he did. I think he did. But, well, it's a good question because you can see the martinis leaving and Valenka is turning round, as it were. You know, her eyes trained on the drinks as she walks. She's
great. That look on her face, she's brilliant.
And I like Mads' look as well.
All three of them.
Mads is looking like, you're in the shit now, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a couple of things.
And he's looking at Vesper, isn't he? When he gets the drink, he looks at Vesper.
I gotta say, I mean, like, if you're Bond, you must, and it says in the book as well, at this point, even though he's not poisoned, he gets, in the book, there's this moment where the guy comes up behind him with a cane, as it were, and there's a bullet in the cane. He goes, do not move, Mr. Bond. I've got a bullet right in here. It is squeezed at your pelvis. You must follow.
Has he got a Russian accent?
I'm listening to the audio book. So I'm trying my best to.
It's very good.
Thank you.
Well, your wife's Russian, so that will help.
Well, I was actually trying to do a French accent.
Oh, okay.
Do not move, Mr. Bond. Anywho, my point is, at that moment, Bond is like, where is Mathis? Where is Felix? Where's Vesper, the darn buffoons, or whatever he's saying? He's like, do they not notice what's going on?
He does, yes.
Yeah, in the book.
I remember that in the
book.
book.
Do they not see me in peril?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, surely, out of the two, Mathis and Vesper, one of them could keep a fucking eye on the drink coming over. One of them.
Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you? It's
Oh.
like, hang on a minute, you've got to look out for this guy. Something could potentially happen to him.
So, not doing much there.
They're off their guard, aren't they?
They're letting him down.
Or maybe Vesper did see it, but she didn't know what to do because she's sort of in on it.
She's not fucking looking at this point.
No.
She's just not doing anything at this
She's just
point.
sat in the corner, isn't she?
Okay, well, like, I do like just to touch upon what they speak about in commentary, but it's very interesting that they had to break up this poker game. They couldn't just have it all in one shot. Look at Bond,
yes,
look at
right.
Mads. So they changed some of these angles now, and you can see actually they go a little bit overhead on Daniel Craig.
Yeah,
his complexion's a bit paler, but they use widescreen as well.
Phil Mayu talking.
Phil Mayu talking, the director.
DOP.
And he's saying, like, this shot where he's got Mads and he's kind of looking up, he's like flustering over his cards, and then he picks the cards up and then launches them at the camera.
It's a great shot, that.
Beautiful. And it's also the one, it's the flip, isn't it? It's the tide receding on itself. You can now see Mads is under the cosh because it's his turn, isn't it? He's now being outplayed by the better player who hasn't been informed by someone else what their bluff tell is, which happened earlier with Vesper.
Yeah, I think Mads is a bit like, well, his character of Lashif is a bit like Kronstein in From Russia with Love, isn't he? Because he was like a mathematician, wasn't he? Because he always could see ahead in chess, couldn't he? And that was why he was the sort of mastermind behind this plot to capture James Bond and lure him into this trap. You know, this perfect plot. So it's similar in a way, isn't it?
Congratulations, a wonderful coup.
Yeah. But it's cool, isn't it? I really like that. I love that about Mads' character and the way he plays it. It's proper classic Bond. Everything about him, the way he looks, the way he plays the role, the way it's been written, everything. It's just brilliant.
Brilliant. All right, Rob. That is probably it for the Minute 94, unless there was anything else you wanted to add. Oh, I should have said that minute was brought to you by Wild and Heart. Some of the best razors out there right now. I use it myself. Rob, you don't use it, do you?
No, because I've got a beard.
Okay. But Wild and Heart razor. Great. Supporting the show. Wild and Wrong person. You're the fucking co-host.
Yeah, but I've got a beard.
wildandheart.co.uk. I take this razor everywhere I go on holiday. I do travel articles for them. I know the guy very well. Paul, his name is, the CEO of the brand. And trust me when I tell you that these razors, British as well. British.
Jolly good.
Something that is designed, not only designed, but made in England.
We love that.
Let's get on to some listener mail, shall we?
Yes.
Do you have any messages for me?
I have a small surprise from your friends back at the barracks.
Excellent. We have been granted an audience.
All right, on to listener mail. Rob, we have a new voicemail from David Zarinsky of the Band Experience.
Oh, yes. What's he got to say?
We need a
this
jingle
week?
for David, don't we?
He rings you up every week.
I know, it's great.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hello, this is David Zarinsky for the Bond Experience. This message is for Rob.
Oh, not
And
again.
Rob, I'm talking directly to you. I'm not talking to Pete.
God's
It's
sake.
directly to you. You had a good question on the last podcast of why I keep reaching out to you. Why am I speaking to you? Well, the only analogy I can give you is, you're kind of like the little brother I never wanted. My brother.
Oh, that's charming, that is.
Brother. And sometimes it's fun to tease the little brother, but I do it because I like you. This is why I do it. I mean, it's like when the boy puts the girl's pigtails into the inkwell. I'm using kind of like an old-timey analogy so you can understand it. It's kind of like that. He likes her. And I genuinely like you, so I will keep reaching out to you. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to stop, Rob. No. We're gonna bring this up a notch. I've got the means and the mind to show up to your work and stand outside with a sign
Fucking
and
hell.
a giant boombox that I won off of eBay for $24.95, not including shipping. And I will play the songs that you dislike. I will be here to needle and irritate like sand in your bathing suit, like spinach in your teeth. I'll always be there, Rob. I'll be there when you least expect it and you most don't want it. Oh, I'll be there. But Rob, it's only because I adore you. Keep up the great work, Rob.
Oh, my God. I think we need to have him sectioned.
Oh,
Honestly,
it brings light into
we
my
need
day.
to have him sectioned.
So, Rob, that was from
That's
David
not normal
Zarinsky.
behaviour.
Did you see his video that he put up this week of the No Time to Die
I
suit?
did.
That was nice.
I did. The one that we saw.
Yeah, that we
The
saw.
one that you unzipped.
Zummed it.
I'm like, oh, look at this.
And I walked around the pub and I said, "Would you like to stroke Daniel Craig's suit?"
I was like, I remember he put this little teaser thing up on Instagram with the box. oh, what's inside the box? Like, oh, I know what's in there. I've seen it.
You should. Everyone should go check out the video. It's a great video. But I had a small hand in getting that suit over to David. But
I'd say
we
a big
spoke about
hand.
it, yeah. But the funny thing, I remember from the night when I unzipped it, the suit, and I showed you the suit. I said, do you want to smell it? And there was a moment where you just went, yeah. Oh no. Like, you did. Your eyes said you did, and your heart said you did.
Yeah.
But you realised, oh, that's weird.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You showed some restraint.
Yes.
Oh, thank you,
it's
David.
Very, very cool suit.
It is
Yeah,
wonderful.
It's cool that we got to see it.
Okay, all right. I think we should bring it home, Rob. Anything else that you want to
I don't
mention?
think so. No.
Okay, well, we'll roll this over into the Patreon show. We do have a Q&A. We didn't get to that last week. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, better do that. Something. And, well, we got things Roger Moore would never do. I think we've got film reviews. Rob.
We have.
Oh, you've got a great film review. I can't wait for that one to come up. And God knows what else. But join us on the Patreon. Links in the show notes. There will be more Bond, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Ciao.